I don't know. Like I think we can appreciate beautiful things in the world even when they have painful origins. My children are very beautiful. There's lots of painful origins for them to even exist in this world. A colonization and enslavement had to happen for them to have ancestors from all the continents they have ancestors from. A whole lot of horrific shit had to happen for them to exist in the world, and they're beautiful.
What's your shockingly controversial statement you'd like to offer to the world?
I really hate that people let cats live in their houses.
Oh my God.
Because I keep moving into houses where cats used to live and they're disgusting and there's cat hair belted into the carpet and in the vents. Was
Oh
that
my God.
shockingly controversial enough?
Welcome to Strategy and Solidarity Pod, the podcast. Woo! An act of revolutionary defiance in celebration of the things that bring me comfort, solace, and
Look, if you
joy.
love your cat, I love that for you. Love your cat. Find love wherever you can.
As
I don't hold
we
that
work
against
together
anyone.
to reclaim our humanity. I am Carlos
I'm just tired of
Wyndham.
cleaning up the fur of cats that never belonged to me years after they have vacated the premises.
And that's Theresa Logan, who has feelings about cats. How is
You asked me to say
your
something
nervous system?
shockingly controversial, and that's the first thing that came to mind because I know there's gonna be a lot of people gonna hate me now.
How's your nervous system? How about that? Let's go with that. I'll ask that.
I'm tired, feeling very tired, but I'm fine. I'm grounded.
Yeah.
hmm
Okay.
How about you? How you holding up?
All right. I'm good. I am fed. That always helps. I was unmoored when first we approached this. It was a two-part thing, you know. One that I had not eaten because I had been so locked into my trad mom business with my child, meaning that I was just making all the food from scratch. That's only that part. That's the only
What does
part.
that mean? Cooking food from scratch makes you a trad mom?
That's part of what you're supposed to do.
Did you grow it all yourself and can it?
Absolutely. And
I don't think one weekend makes you a trad mom.
I think I kind of a little bit.
Is that your controversial topic for the day?
I think that might be my controversial take.
One weekend of cooking food makes you a trad mom.
One weekend of cooking food for more than one person makes you a trad mom.
I think we've just collectively pissed off a good 50% of people who might consider listening to us.
That is perfect.
Unintentionally, we may have a lot of harm to repair.
We're gonna gain another 4,000 through the act. Oh my goodness! So you're tired. I'm tired. The full moon energy was not playing around last night. I could not sleep. And,
wasn't that full moon like 3 days ago?
It was. The energy is still resonant.
Still there. Yeah. What does the full moon do to you?
Just keeps me up. Wakes
sleep.
me at very weird hours and will not let me sleep. And I had no idea what was going on. I mean, tired to the point that earlier while I was doing some editing, I honestly think I fell asleep with my eyes open while I was working for a little bit because all of a sudden I was very confused about what time it was and if I had dropped Sophia at school.
In the middle of the night?
Business. No, just now, this morning. Like
just now?
About 2 hours before I saw you. Yeah. How about you?
After
What
you had
made your
taken
bones
your
tired?
child to school, you couldn't
Oh
remember if
yeah.
you took her or
No,
not?
all of the business was done, and everything was either posting or posted everywhere it needed to be, and I evidently was just sat here with my eyes open, staring directly at the screen, and fell asleep. That was new. That was a new one for me.
Well,
I've heard
then
of
it's like
such
a new
things.
superpower.
I don't want
Or
it.
late onset narcolepsy.
I don't want that either.
Neither seems great.
No. Waking back up in the driver's
I
seat
hope not.
of a computer bank was a lot. I don't want to ever do that in a car. That sounds bad.
No, that'd be
Or
very
on a
bad.
plane. Just
Did
wake
you
up
see
on
the
a plane
bus
like I
with the
don't know what the
kids?
fuck. Did I
Where
see the bus with the
the bus
kids?
driver passed out while she was driving and the kids had to like jump up there and figure out how to stop the bus?
Did Superman get under the wheel?
No.
What
They were
happened?
just middle school kids in Mississippi, I think. She had an asthma attack or something and passed out while she was driving. I would think that maybe you would have wanted to pull over when you started having an asthma attack. I don't know all the details. This is the social media version. It's very abbreviated. But there was a video of the children trying to wake her up and then figuring out one of them like grabbing the wheel and I think one of the other ones like stepped on the brake, but
That's what's going
they
around the social
they
medias.
figured out how to. It was a thing I saw last week. They figured out how to stop the bus. I was like, you know what? These kids are going to be okay. Not all
Was
of
it
them,
AI?
but enough of them. No, that's an AI. Like they'll figure it out. They'll be okay.
I mean, I don't know if okay.
If
Where
any
were
of us
these
are
kids
okay,
located?
Mississippi.
What part?
I have no idea.
Uh huh. All right. I don't know if I need everybody in Mississippi to be okay. That's not, but I hear what you're saying.
Are we
Hey,
gonna
all
call this
right.
like the
And there
piss
went the rest
everybody
of the
off
audience.
episode? We're just
And
gonna
there
like
went the
insult
rest of
as
the
many
audience.
people as
Good
possible
job.
for
Good
no
job.
reason.
Like and subscribe.
What's happening?
Solidar
Scorpio full moon.
strategy and solidarity.org. Make sure that if you're watching on YouTube that you like and share. Send this to somebody who you love or somebody who you dislike greatly.
All right. Well, who's next on our list of people to unintentionally insult
Well,
or intentionally? I didn't know that was our plan for the day, but here we are.
I didn't either, but this seems like the stew that we're in. I don't see a way back out. You just got to go through the tunnel. There's nothing.
The only way,
the
only way forward is through. Is that what it is?
That's
or
it,
the only
right?
way through is out.
All we're doing is saying words.
The only way out is through.
There's just words. Just words. I like words. I love words. All right. So there is there. Okay. So we'll keep it light. But there is controversy to be had in the world because it's the world in which we live. I didn't do it. I want to be very clear. I didn't do it. It's not. I did. It's I. I have nothing to do with it.
Who did it?
The Michael Jackson biopic.
Oh yeah.
Is the number one by the metric of ticket sales.
Are you about to insult everyone who likes the movie?
Biopic in the history of biopics.
We will lose 48 of our 50 listeners by the time this episode is over.
I have feelings about heralding extremely hypnotically talented. I was doing everything I could to steer my child away from the biopic. And, this is somebody who grew up with me, meaning that they know that within fingers reach is every single album that man recorded up to Invincible, because after that, no thank you.
Wait, did you see
uh
it or have you not seen it? Are you
i
talking about
I
shit about it
no,
without seeing it?
no, I have not. I have
Okay.
seen every review with every spoiler. I know how it
Mm,
goes top to bottom, because I am one of those people who knows a distressingly large amount of deep and personal information about that whole family. And
almost like it was an autistic child's special interest or something.
a little bit, yeah. And even to the degree that while it was very, very, very well acted by Angela Bassett, that the Jackson miniseries, that it holds a wonderful place in every memory of every millennial,
Yes, I recall.
starring Cuba Gooding Jr. as Jackie. What? Um, Listen,
Yo, what is your point? What is the point? What are you trying to say?
just
It's taking so long to get there.
the well, what is a podcast but words? And now I'm saying some. The
What is ADHD but a lack of attention for your very
the
long monologue?
podcast, the podcast, the the
Biopic.
biopic that was the miniseries, if one wants to look at a biopic rather than actually doing the research on these people to know what their lives were,
Almost no one wants
would
to do
be
that.
the bet well, I will would be would be would be the preferred biopic, right?
Doing your
I'm
own
just saying.
research and creating it in your mind from your own investigations.
No, well, that would be the best thing. But if not that, go ahead, and the 90s, I guess it was that 90s 80s biopic is great, if that's what you're after.
The
If what you're
miniseries
after
was
is
probably the
understanding,
90s, early
I
90s.
think it was the 90s, right?
I think
If
so.
what you're after is actually understanding the relationship of the boys to one another, Michael's relationship to his brothers, that is where you want to go. And it does end in the first of his many controversial moves, passive aggressive, fuck you, I'm going to be the famous one moves from that point forward, at Motown 25. Now, that being the pinnacle in that story, if you're trying to tell a story
It was
without,
1992.
thank you, including everything that happened from the 90s forward, which this movie also does not, listen, then you got to just stop. You can't
No.
just keep telling the story and, like, by the way, we're not going to talk about the hundreds of millions of dollars in settlements for multiples of dozens of molestation
Oh, no.
accusations. Like, we're not even going to talk about that. We're not. Janet's not even in the movie. We're not going to address that
Oh,
at
for
all.
real? How's she not in the
Not even
movie?
in, right?
What?
Janet's not even in the movie. We're not going to address that at all. We won't address the rivalry between Janet and Michael. And you know what? Even though he's in the film, we're just going to use Jermaine for set dressing. And in fact, the rivalry between the two of them that existed from the time that Jermaine Jackson left the Jackson 5, or the Jacksons left Jermaine at Motown, depending on your view. You know what I mean? That's oh, P.S. You know this great story of how that one time that Tina Turner shot Randy Jackson? Is that in this? Nope. That would be interesting and true. And we don't want to talk about the fact that Randy Jackson was a coked up abuser and was actually having to be protected by Tina Turner, who ended up having to shoot him for breaking into her house while she was protecting the woman he was chasing around. We don't want to talk about the fact that Michael Jackson was a Crip. That destroys the novel story about how he was breaking up the gangs and saved all the kids from gangs when he did beat it. Get out of my face. Nor the fact that Michael Jackson kicked Tupac's ass for putting hands on Quincy Jones's niece. Get out of my face with this.
I'm sorry.
You are
Say that one
messing
more
with the
time.
family.
Hold on.
You heard me.
Michael
You
Jackson
heard me.
beat up Tupac.
Put hands up on Tupac and whooped his ass right up in the street because Tupac snatched up on Quincy Jones's niece and he was not motherfucking having it. Called her the B word. I'm not even going to say it because that's how Michael would feel about it. Okay. So listen, when I say I'd like
Tupac
a
versus
biopic,
Michael Jackson, and Michael Jackson wins.
and Tupac got his ass whooped. Now, I would
What?
like,
How?
I would like, I'm sure the fact that he was surrounded by a bunch of security and the fact that he was a Crip probably had him pretty well covered. I bet you no one was going to say shit to Michael Jackson after he smacked a nigga in the face. That's just my guess.
All right,
That's
fair
my
enough.
guess.
Fair enough.
Right? I don't think it's going to go your way if you do. This dude used to have to walk around with like 12 cops who were all also LAPD. P.S. Remember who the LAPD was affiliated with. And that was his bodyguards all the time, right?
Okay.
There's interest.
So
Latoya Jackson was
you
in
want
Boy.
a
There's
real
interesting
story.
stuff.
You want the real story. You want the
I want a
behind the scenes.
biopic.
You want the humanity. You don't want the nostalgia feel good movie, which is what I understand this is.
I'm good for the nostalgia that happened on stage. The way that it happened in the Johnny Cash movie, brilliant. The Coal Miner's Daughter, one of the best musical biopics in the history of musical biopics, and made a star out of Sissy Spacek. What's Love Got to Do with It? Speaking of Angela Bassett, what are we doing right now? All of a sudden, starting with Ray, these things turned into like these weird celebrations. Let's ignore all of the
might as well be superhero movies. They're like superhero movies.
Right. And it's like, well, who can do the best
mythologies? I don't like care sanitized about mythologies.
He did that already. He did that. This was the most spoiled, gangster, petty, ridiculous. If you watch the Victory Tour, the very first song they do on the celebratory tour, their last tour, is Michael Jackson's "Wanna Be Starting Something." The very first song of the entire tour is a Michael Jackson song. Then there are two more before they play one Jackson's song. Before they play one, he was petty. He worked with Paul McCartney, asked him how he made his money. Paul McCartney said through publishing. Michael Jackson said, "Great, I'm going to buy your songs." Paul McCartney laughed. Michael Jackson bought all of the Beatles' music.
Was that part in the movie?
Nope.
No.
Eminem made fun of Michael Jackson in a video. Michael Jackson bought all of Eminem's publishing. So now every time anyone listens to anything by Eminem, the money goes directly to the estate of Michael Jackson. Petty.
Don't feel like he needs it, but I really hate Eminem. Just in case there's anyone I haven't, turned away yet. Really can't stand him.
Petty. He was
You're a fan of Petty.
I love.
So you want Michael Jackson, the petty gangster? That's the biopic you want.
He was a petty, gang-affiliated, drug-fueled,
MJ, the petty
gangster who was very fucking complicated.
Is the movie just a theatrical version of or a cinematic version of the musical or something?
It's going on a ride.
There was a musical.
You're going on the Michael Jackson ride. You're going to watch
I think.
Some very out of context, out of order
I went to
And
Disneyland in kindergarten, and there was the Man in the Mirror. There was some Disneyland ride that he was on.
it was Captain EO.
There we
It
go.
was Captain
That
EO.
was it. I would never have remembered that. I was
You're
like,
just another part of me.
yes.
Yeah,
I was like,
yeah.
wait, was he in there with Indiana Jones? Were they?
Absolutely not. No, he was a spaceman. It was
Captain.
his own
Yes,
ride.
that is what it was. I saw that when I was in kindergarten at
Yeah,
Disneyland.
it was his own ride, and he had Lucas film level
Yeah,
people around him. It was people in suits. If you're able to see it
that's why it
in an
merges with
interesting
Indiana
section of the
Jones
sense.
and Star Wars in my
Well,
mind.
also when he was surrounded by the baddies, he was whipped, and he did get whipped in his face, and actually got a little scar.
Oh no.
Uh, yeah, in the making of. Now listen,
Oh, he took some. He
again,
got some serious injuries for that. He suffered for his art. Probably
I know
caused more harm than he experienced. But
far too much
you do. I don't know
about
if
this
it's,
man and their family. And I'm not
and that's why you
saying,
find the children's picture book version of his life insulting.
I don't even just find it insulting. I'm like, we cannot keep exalting
Hmm.
these abusers and, more importantly, the system of abuse,
Yeah.
right? And because the thing is, it happens to every single child star, and it began with Shirley Temple.
Hmm.
And it began in the most horrific ways. And I did the research because of conversations that you and I had, because I was very hard on Shirley Temple.
Were
And
you?
and I still do
Hmm.
not feel good about the fact that those adults put her in blackface. That's very, very upsetting.
Yeah.
Okay.
Very.
She was purchased by MGM when she was 4 years old, and was put in film at that point. And they used to do this thing where they would dress the children as prostitutes. And her first film was
Like
like
in a
one of
beauty
those, like,
pageant
no, like a whorehouse scene. Like a whorehouse scene from a cowboy movie.
in the movies
Yep. And all the
or
kids
in
would be in
a.
diapers in the movies. But this was like some shit that, like, adults were going to look at on the, like, if you went to the movies, that was going to be one of the shorts. And that's how she got famous, because that was the one he picked. And he picked her
Being
because
a
he came in
toddler
to the room.
prostitute?
Yep. And he came into the room, right? And she was scared and hid under the piano. And then he went, "That's the one I want," and started putting her in the movies. And that's
Whoops.
how, that was the beginning of child stars in the modern age. And by modern age, I mean anything that is recorded in cinematic or audio, right? So
I'm not sure there's anyone it's worked out well for. It doesn't seem like a
none, zero,
healthy
zero, zero. It's
experience
bad.
for a human.
It's a fame is not healthy for black folks or other living things, and I include children of any race in that 100%.
It's probably
And
not good for any human,
it's probably horrible for everybody. It's just bad.
and
It's
probably
a
especially bad
distortion
as
of
a
reality.
child, because then you grow up in that whatever that fake version of reality is. How would you even know
Disappears
what's
when
real
you're
if you spend
adolescent,
your time being an actor as a child? Do you even know what real life is?
right? I mean, okay, and back to the film and back to the whole complication of it, right? Where was the fake relationship with Tatum O'Neal? Where was the whole experiences at Studio 54? Why did he even know Quincy Jones? No mention of the Wiz, whatever. Okay. What the fuck are we doing? What are we doing? What is this? This is
Condensing a
Jermaine
life
Jackson's
story into
version.
120 minutes of
Yes,
feel
Jermaine
good
Jackson's version of Michael Jackson's
nostalgia.
life,
Mm,
to do nostalgia and get money.
make a lot of money, probably.
And so he put his kid in it. Oh, I had to audition and work really hard. Did you, for your dad's movie? You had to audition really hard? I'll bet you did. Boy, oh boy, oh boy. How?
Did
Ooh,
you do a
how
good
many?
job?
How many? Huh?
Did you do a good job?
I. I guess. I mean, he's. I guess he doesn't look like him at all. With the makeup and stuff, like Tommy Davidson looked way more like Michael Jackson when he was on Living Color doing it. Like, but I mean, again, making a film about Charlie Chaplin without talking about the fact that he married a 12-year-old or a 15-year-old rather, making a movie about Jerry Lee Lewis without addressing the fact that he married his cousin,
No one
making a
did that,
film
did they?
about
Then everyone
huh?
everyone talks about that. That's one
Oh, that
everyone talks
that
about,
was
isn't
made.
it?
That was made. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Dennis Quaid did that. Winona Ryder was in it. It was disgusting.
Hmm.
They talk about all of the scandals of Little Richard, of all these artists. You can't make a real Michael Jackson movie. Come on now. He did. Yeah, he loved children. Yes. Yep. Mm-hmm. In a way that's very uncomfortable. If you put on one of his records, is it possible to take it back off? No. I don't know what deal with the devil got made. I don't know what magic this is. It is what it is. It's complicated like the world in which we live. But this shit about like the Michael Jackson like defenders and deniers, this only reifies their position. And that's as crazy to me as people saying we've not been to the moon, though we've been completely all the goddamn way around it and on both sides. I'm like, I don't know what to do with you. We've been to Mars, dude. Like, I don't know I don't know what conversation we're having with these people anymore. That's like saying Michael Jackson's kids are his biological children. Get out of my face. No dark-skinned dude from Gary, Indiana, no matter whose sperm you put him in, has
Those
white
white children.
with blue eyes. That's weird, dude. What are you saying?
I mean, just you believe something hard enough, you can trick yourself into believing it, I guess.
He was an awful, spoiled, drug-addled man, which I'm not. It's again. I'm not saying that to be like, ooh, boo, let's jump it on his legacy. That's part of his legacy. That's part of his legacy. He did a whole speech where he told all of us that they photographed his penis. That he like went on air on MTV and did that internationally, my dog. That is part of the legacy. You don't get to do Free Willy if you're not going to talk on that part. It doesn't make any sense. So that for me, it's the rebuilding of the mythology of white supremacy and the purity of the myths of white supremacy, including that there's a magical black man who's out there who's like doing all of this bit, and it's continuing to groom an entire another generation of wannabe child stars, of millennials who get all wrapped up in the shit and start doing all of the exaltation again. And then when the invitation to bring their kids into it so that they can live their dreams, which is how kids get in it in the first place. It's disgusting. The whole thing is disgusting. I'm really grossed out. It's worse than propaganda to me. I don't tell the story if you want to tell the story. I don't think that's a good idea either. I don't think anybody's going to have a good time watching it. Watching him feed Jesus juice, as he called the wine, to 10-year-old boys. I don't think anybody's going to have a good time figuring out why he had an amusement park behind a gate in the middle of a mountain hidden away like it was Epstein Island. I mean, that's not fun. And now the Usher and Chris Brown, the two imitators, are going out on tour together. They might as well call it the Women Hater No Girls Allowed tour. What are you doing?
I would guess they're probably just hoping there's a new generation of women young enough to not know the story or the
Anytime
stories
anybody
and
defends that
will
nonsense
still
to
be
me, I
excited
am
about them or
reposting the
something.
photo of, I'm not reposting, sending to them privately the photo of Rihanna B. Like, don't with me. Don't with me. What are you doing, dog? Usher's defending Diddy right now. Like, what are we doing? What are we doing?
I
I can't.
I don't know. I suspect they're just continuing on with the
Well,
patriarchy and what they
they're
believe they're
trying
entitled
to,
to
but it's
because of it, with their wealth and fame. And I don't know how much wealth they have. They're probably broke. That's probably why they got to go on tour. Would be my guess.
it's very expensive to maintain a house that size. I can't imagine putting yourself in a position where you're employing that many people and just
Yeah.
you gonna be the number one record seller for the ever. What is wrong with you, my guy? Well, they were both child stars. They were child stars. They were child stars.
Yes. I mean, I'm pretty sure just about every abuser was abused. Everyone who's abused doesn't turn into an abuser, but there's almost always an origin story. I'm sure there's exceptions and pathologies and whatever, but by and large,
Yeah, no, there are exceptions. There's exceptions are the ones who get out and then tell on everybody, and then everybody go, no, why you trying to ruin those people's lives? Like, oh, stop it.
no, I'm saying there's probably exceptions of people who were not themselves abused who then
No,
become
I know.
abusers because of pathologies or other things, but I don't. I think by and large, most abusers were themselves abused, and it's replicating the harm they themselves experienced.
Yeah, no, you're
Not an
making me.
excuse, an explanation, because I find it useful to just kind of understand. If we understand it, then we can start thinking about what it would take to undo it. But not an excuse for anyone's behavior.
Yeah, I was also flipping it on you linguistically with the idea of and you are right. We should stay on that point. You were correct. You were correct. I went too quickly, ADHD, as you had pointed out, to understanding the pathology that allows for people to look at abusers and find all sorts of spaciousness for them, depending on their level of talent
Hmm.
or ability to amuse.
Or wealth, or power, or privilege, or anything that you might want to aspire to, or had identified with.
Any aspect, yes, any identifiable identifier and aspirational kind of shit that we have laid out, whether it be intellect or was in the past. Now, don't be smart. That's not a good. This is not a good time to be smart. But like in the time of Einstein and things, um, yeah, wild stuff. What were you looking at? What'd you find?
Oh, I was trying to
Anything
look up
good?
Michael Jackson's astrological chart.
Uh, yeah, it was just his birthday. That's why they're putting out that goofy movie now.
Hmm. I
Anyway,
mean, it is, what I feel like I was trained to just expect harm and that those people are harmful. So it doesn't, sometimes I think it doesn't provoke enough reaction in me because I'm just like, well, it's unsurprising. I think that's what they all do. Um, and sometimes I
for
wonder
me,
that I'm just
the
not having
necromancy.
a strong enough reaction or response.
Yeah, it's the necromancy for me. Like, God, what the hell is wrong with you people?
What do you
Let
mean,
these
necromancy?
disgusting dead people be dead and quit trying to make
Mm,
love to their ghosts. What is wrong with you? They were gross, and the music was the shit. Like, and so
can
now if you can't make that separation for yourself, then either admit that you're good with it all and throw on your R. Kelly and shut the
oh,
fuck up,
gross.
or deal with what it will take for you to start to divorce yourself from this disgusting system. It's painful. It's not like for free. You don't get out for free. You got to. You were asking you and I were having a private conversation the other day, and you asked me why I was always like poking holes and everything, or you made fun of me for poking holes and everything, or it was too much at a point. I
I
was
don't
oh
remember,
music.
but sure.
I was listening to music. I was listening to music, and artists
Oh,
will
just
come
so,
out
like,
and
you can't
introduce a
enjoy
lot of it.
things, you need to point out what's
But
wrong with them.
I enjoy it just fine. It's just,
Oh,
hey, I know what the source of the music is. I know who the people are who are involved. If I can push myself through that, or it's that good, it is what it is. I mean, I can't. What am I going to do? What Talib Kweli's "Get By" is a great song. 20 years later, that dude hates me. Those two things are both true. There's nothing I can do about that.
uh-huh.
There's nothing I can do about that. He's a piece of shit. He stole
Oh,
songs from Reese. That's the reason we don't have any more records from her.
okay.
Okay, all right. Oh, you tried to extort her for sex? Gross. Oh, the judge said that they're your songs because she recorded them at your studio, so you won. Okay, yeah, that's the music business. You're still fucking nasty. You know what I mean? Like, but that song, Get By, it makes me feel so good. I'll dance to it every time. I like I there are contradictions. You can't like either
Yeah,
take it
I
with
mean,
you
there are no
or
perfect
let it
people in the
go, but
world.
don't defend it.
There's no one who's created something you love that hasn't also done some, like, harmful shit in their life.
And if you find out, you ain't got to hang on to it. You don't gotta like Picasso if you find out that, oh, by the way, he took his whole style from West African art. Guess what you could do? You could just get some West African art. You ain't got to look at Picasso no more. You could make choices.
Sure.
I don't understand
And you could
people.
still look at Picasso and have that level of understanding and engage people in that conversation when his name gets brought up. Like, we can have conversations about how messy humanity is and what a harmful culture we live in and how much trauma we've survived um, over the
Part of the
past
beauty of Frida is
existence
the
of
survival,
humanity. And, in
right?
the colonizer era in particular.
Part of the
There's not,
beauty of Frida's story is the survival of the ego. Like that, why? What do we? If you sanitize it, there's nothing to learn. You can't.
mm,
You just turned it. What are we doing?
that part,
I mean, I know what we're
right
doing,
there.
and that's why I get so upset. That's why I get so upset
Well, it's like
because I
last week
do
we
know what
talked
we're
about nostalgia. We were talking about nostalgia, and it's just that's all it is. It's just selling nostalgia because nostalgia sells because the world is very scary and uncertain, and things that make us feel um, like,
numb.
I don't know how Michael Jackson would make you feel safe, but the nostalgia takes you back to a time when you were using that music to forget about the things that were hard.
But that's the
Take you back
thing.
to when you were a
The
kid dancing.
deniers talk
It's taking
about
you back
feeling
to
safe. Keep talking. I'm sorry. Go ahead. Go ahead.
no, I'm just saying. I mean, that's what we talked about nostalgia last time. Excuse me. It's like that's what I imagine. I haven't seen it yet, but it sounds like that's what that movie is doing. Is it just it's selling nostalgia in a moment when the future feels so uncertain. The more interesting conversation for me is how we deal with abusers. And I, as the survivor myself, don't find the popular narratives around abuse and just like there are monsters who deserve to be punished, right? Like Epstein level. And then there's just humans who are
Oh
abused
my goodness.
themselves and our shadow issues run into each other and we end up in very painful, harmful situations. And like, how do we recover and come back from that instead of just like anyone who causes harm is a monster is what it feels like to me sometimes. Um, where just like causing harm is an aspect of being a human. There's no one who gets through this world without causing harm in some way. And that's not minimizing, it's not justifying, it's not equating that different kinds of harm are the same. It's just saying like we need more strategies to be able to work through and recover um, from harm. And so I don't know, like I think we can appreciate beautiful things in the world even when they have painful origins. My children are very beautiful. There's lots of painful origins for them to even exist in this world. A colonization and enslavement had to happen for them to have ancestors from all the continents they have ancestors from. A whole lot of horrific shit had to happen for them to exist in the world, and they're beautiful. And them coming from that history does not take away the beauty that they are. Is that the like I don't need to go spend money on Michael Jackson's music. I probably will still enjoy it if it comes on the radio or I'm somewhere where it comes on in the store or whatever without having too many feelings about it. But I think
Yeah,
it's
I mean
it's
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 hypnotic
important.
stuff.
What
It's
you're saying
hypnotic
is
stuff.
is to acknowledge the whole humanity behind the music and understand not just the value, not just the beauty that was created, but the sacrifices and the harm and the tragedies behind it as well, because that's what makes it a human story with something to teach us instead of
Yeah,
just
acting
a
like the
song to.
tragedy is that his daddy was mean. I mean, that's not that. First of all,
That's part of it. He
his
wasn't just
father was a
mean, he
wild
was
abuser for
vicious, wasn't
sure.
he?
Well, not to the degree that was portrayed in the film, which is part of why Janet was like, "Don't put me in this shit." Like y'all doing
Oh
too
yeah.
much.
I just remember the
But
miniseries.
oh no, it's not. Is listen, there is hands and belts on in that family. Like I'm not saying like compared to
Not to mention the
how
abuse of making a child a national superstar. That seems abusive
absolutely
in and of
and
itself.
selling them to Barry Gordy and Barry Gordy was a
Mm.
pimp and all of it, right? Like I don't even like Motown music for that very reason. It's just so very factory sounding. Do you know what I
Hmm.
mean? It all sounds like it was built in a factory, which makes sense given where they lived and the way the Barry Gordy worked. You know, but that is how it sounds.
In a town full of factories.
You know what I mean? Just
A
like
town, the second
okay,
biggest city in the country at the time.
right. This is how you put it out. It sounds like this, and only when like his product resisted did it really elevate. And those are the pieces that are still classics, right?
Hmm.
So all of that said, um yeah, I agree. You know that's part of what I was saying about like what the dangers of nostalgia are in the same way because it is mythology building and mythologizing, and the past was never better. The future is not going to be that much worse. It might be bad different places, but it's gonna you know it's gonna be better different places too.
Well, it's
And
also, we were talking a couple weeks ago too about like, and I mean this like in a energetic sense, not in a like Buffy the Vampire chanting rituals and robes kind of sense or something, but that the idea of just human sacrifice. Like Michael Jackson was a child who was sacrificed. He was sacrificed for his father to have money. He was sacrificed for people to have their little weird heartthrob rock and roll sensation. He would like his life was sacrificed as a child to become what he became. He was sacrificed in the ways that like the old school kings and pre-colonial Europe and whatever were like, you when you're the king you sacrifice, you get to have what you get to have because you are sacrificed to the land for the people. And there's probably healthy ways for that to be done, but this was clearly an exploitative way for that to be done. He was sacrificed for people to have this moment now as a child, right? That's what his life was sacrificed for. And then what did he do? Sacrifice the life of other children to try to get back some of what was taken from him. And that's the way that abuse replicates itself. And so figuring out like how do we, what do we do to decide that I'm not going to live in a place where we sacrifice children anymore in any sense of the word,
there's the movie.
and not making movies about abusers
There's the you
where we
just
don't
told the
wrestle with
story
the
that
abuse.
yeah,
Probably
that's
is
the
a good
story.
place to
Like you can
start.
make the movie about him. I'm not saying that the brother doesn't deserve a movie. I'm not. I didn't even call him the N worder. I'm trying to be very nice right now. You know what I mean? I'm not even saying he don't deserve a movie. Give him a movie. Give him a movie, but like
What
honor what is real and like don't turn it into an some kind of like aspirational myth.
is
That's
there some part of you from your childhood that still feels betrayed by him?
not in any real no. No.
Not
I
anymore.
don't I don't listen to like I think it's gross that they're digging him up to make this
Like you were.
movie.
Wait, what?
Oh, the legacy
Oh, okay.
spiritually.
They're not actually digging, exhuming his body.
I
Oh, okay.
can't
I was like, you
I
were like a
can't
super fan as a
compare.
child, were you
No, for
not? You
sure.
knew all the songs and the
Yeah.
dances. And
I
how
did.
have you,
Everything I've said is off the top of the dome. I'm not looking at
how,
research.
how did you grapple with and make peace with what he meant to you as a child? and the meaning that you projected onto him from that place where you were in life, and the reality of who he was as a very messy, harmful human being.
It was just becoming a young adult and being very messy. And like the more I experienced in life, the more of what I knew and had seen was just undeniable, because also the further he was going. And it was like, I still remember like in high school when Dangerous came out, and when he was dancing around chasing that girl in a parking lot in the blue with all his Crip friends, and she was the only girl on the street, and then he started humping on the street, and he stood up and showed his little ponytail, and his belt was made of a t-shirt or whatever the hell it was. And I looked at his face and I was like, okay, friend, that you've got to stop. That's fine. That's fine, but that's it. You cannot do anything else. You're going to look like a psychopath. Like you look a little weird now, but you could stop. You're fine. I would I think you're good. I think you're good. And the music was so sterile. And the thing is, it had that carryover of like, how do I make the thing that will be the biggest thing, not what am I passionate about bringing to the people. Because bruh was like, in his later years, it is amazing to see somebody in their 40s have that much movement, for sure. You are not dancing like you were dancing when you were 20, and that is not what you're bringing to the table anymore. And so now the performance has to be on hit, right? And people will go to the nostalgia tour forever. We'll be with you forever doing that. But your music, if it's not going to elevate, it's going to turn into that like that 90s like flat compressed, just like the thing that made Nirvana work, the thing that made Mbop happen and Nirvana work at the same time, because something different had to happen. You cannot keep turning this into a mechanically sounding and driven quest for placement. I mean, you can, and he did, but like you're not going to make music doing that. And that's where I started hearing the truth of, oh shit, this brother just a singer. This is just a singing ass nigga. He ain't never did shit except like be able to hit the right note. Fuck that. And once you see that, it's like you can't put nobody on a pedestal. What it's like that, which is
And you
good,
should not.
which is good.
And you should not.
But it is that thing of like realizing, because I kept aging and he refused, so that he could keep abusing these children again with this Peter Pan mythology bullshit. Where is my childhood that he was putting out? It's like watching Sesame Street.
I
Like, you
mean, very
feel it. It's
twisted
just
and
like,
corrupted, but also not untrue. He really did not have a childhood.
no.
You can see how he got
All of the
there.
above. Yeah,
No one
yes,
should have
and
enabled that, having that kind of fame and power and wealth that you just can abuse people with
yeah.
no one to hold you accountable is unhealthy. Like there's real trauma there that deserved healing and support instead of enabling and, replication of more harm onto more people's lives.
Really gross stuff. But that's what the movie should be, because that's what it is. It should not, and I'm not saying that people shouldn't have a concert retrospective on film. If that's what you want, great. There's so much footage. Put a concert retrospective together. They got the backstage. I've seen the making of Thriller. I've seen the making of every single thing that they showed up there. You could show what they do in the film and have some people actually talk in between about the parents and whatever you want to talk about. Like, people are still alive. You could do a brilliant piece of filmography. But like, even if you want to focus on the art, but like, come on, man. What are we doing? We doing CGI noses? That's
I
what
mean,
we're
what,
doing. We're
you know,
doing
like
CGI noses.
why do we put people on pedestals, right? And I think it's just like there's probably some shadow part of ourselves that we trying to project onto this person up there and like admire in them the things we wish that we could admire in ourselves or aspire to. But most of the times the things we're projecting on them aren't our own things that we either love or hate or wish that we we felt about ourselves, because they're just people, right? All these things we project onto them of identities and qualities and characteristics that we have no real basis for understanding other than whatever show they're putting on. um, I think it speaks to how much of ourselves we shove into shadow and then have to project onto other people to try to inspire us instead of having our own connection to our own creative life force, right? Like you look at someone like, oh, they're so incredibly talented. And it's like, yes, and why aren't you singing songs? Not to be a rock star, to sing because it feels good as a human to sing a song, right? To just like, I go out and I sing good morning to my plants around my yard every day, and it makes me so happy. And no one ever needs to hear that. Except for the plants. But it makes me so happy. And that, it took me years of healing and clearing and all kinds of things to be able to sing at all, because it was a part of me I just locked away because I didn't have a nice voice. Someone told me once or twice I couldn't sing, and then I took it real personal, so I would never sing. I would never dance, and both are things that make me so happy. When I do them, and when it's not about performing for celebration or external validation or to prove I'm better than someone else at doing those things, when it's just because like I'm alive and I'm happy and I'm connected with my own self and my place in the world. Like those are beautiful things. And so many of us have had those things beaten out of us as children, where we have to project that onto these people who are celebrities because they're exceptionally talented at those things, instead of just like singing and dancing every day because it's a beautiful part of life, in a way that just like humans express themselves, and making it into a commodity to be consumed instead of an act of creation that's a part of the way we live our lives every day.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's ritual. If if
Yeah,
if we're honest about the power of dance and song, it's ritual. And
absolutely.
for people who have mm, for since the Bernaysian project being projecting, as you were saying, themselves and living virtual avatar lives in that way. Um, again, it gets back to that idea of following these Nazi adjacent thoughts of hero journeys and so forth and so on. Like that these very white supremacist colonialist ideas and of the chosen one and the only one and the matrix, all this nonsense is yeah, as you said, that is the AI, that is the avatar, was the avatar in the 80s, right? Like it was like, if only I could get out of whatever provincial situation, right? For those who wanted out, um, and felt like out was where the freedom is. Um, a very limited number of possibility models create that exactly the situation to what you're talking about, to what you're speaking. Unless you start expanding your horizons and reading books and I mean, I don't know. I'm sure there's other ways too. That's what I did.
There's other ways to what? I don't even know. You lost me. What,
The
Brene's?
getting
I
out
don't know where
of Brene Bernays was Freud's nephew, was one of the ones who created the consumer culture and commercial culture specifically.
Okay.
And you can't have a king of pop if you have not commercialized popular music, so that it's no longer singing.
A daily act of life instead of
Yeah,
an
yeah,
experience to be consumed. Yeah.
exactly,
I mean,
exactly.
I think that's one of the ways
Everybody
that,
doesn't
like,
have a piano.
the illness of whiteness shows up. It's one of the symptoms of the illness of whiteness, of white people not being able to sing or dance. Like, and I'm serious. And also, there's exceptions, and white people, there's clearly white people who can sing and can dance. But that culturally, like, white people have parties, there's no dancing, there's not singing, there's not celebrations, like everybody's sitting around eating a hot dog or something, is or doing a lot of hard drugs. But this, like, white people parties are usually more just like a gathering. But as opposed to anywhere else in the world you go, you'd be sitting in someone's living room on a Sunday afternoon having a dance party with whatever there was to eat, because that's what humans do, right? You get together, you sing, you dance. That's just like the
Yeah.
most basic fundamental aspect of being human. Even if you go back to Europe, as European people will sing and dance and stuff in their own countries, that we don't, as white people who are European descendant people here, in the United States. And it is that,
Y'all used to have pianos in the house. Everybody knew how to play everything. They
yes,
took that
like sing
away.
Christmas carols and things. Yeah,
I
even the
mean,
young people
just
don't
sing.
dance anymore. Even kids barely
They
dance
be
anymore.
coming
They don't
round
go
the
to the club and
mountain.
go
She
dancing.
come.
They don't even go dancing at the club.
Club. You ain't letting them out the house. What are you talking about?
I'm saying like the 20 somethings, like the Gen Z 20 somethings. They don't go out and go dancing. That's not a thing.
Mm.
Like, how can young human people not go out and go dancing? That's like the most basic part of being a young human of mating age. Like, you go out and you go dancing. And like, losing those things is so important. It's such like a fundamental aspect of our own humanity to be connecting to that instead of just consuming other people's expression. And I think I've said this before. I think consumption is the shadow of creation. We're supposed to be out here creating, and the more we cut ourselves off from those things, the more we end up in those sideways, twisted, harmful patterns with ourselves and with other people. So I don't know. Go out and sing a song in the sunshine instead of consuming someone else's abuse ridden, mass produced, corrupted work of beauty.
Well, I mean, and that's the thing about one of the things that was great about being near and in and around college music in the '90s was that, like, a lot of these people who ended up becoming swept up into the system, were kids we knew. It was just your people. Like, yeah, we going to the party. That's all it is. Like, we all gonna go to the party. Souls of Mischief still got a giant reputation in the Bay. You know what I mean? Like, it
We didn't all grow
E40,
up in the Bay.
huh? No, no,
I
I'm
said
just
not
saying,
everybody
but
grew up
like
in the Bay.
E40 still got a
It's a particular
reputation. I'm
place.
saying, there are artists, right, of age
Mm-hmm.
and who were around in the '90s of all genres who are still doing exactly what they were doing, right, and doing it at scale, which is kind of how it should be.
The
We
funny
should
thing
like
is, at this
regional
age,
acts. What Remember that? I like regional
yeah,
acts.
yeah, yeah.
Let's have regional acts.
Yes. The funny thing is, at this age, like, when you're young, like children and young adults, you project all this, like, um, sophistication and, I don't know, fanciness, some more sophisticated words and fanciness on the famous people, right? And now at this age, I look at them, and at this stage of healing, I look at them like, oh, They're just like the band nerds and the theater nerds, just with a lot of money, but they're still those same insecure, nerdy people, just for the most part. I'll be like, you just spend your whole day pretending to be someone else, and that's you feel good about that? Like, it doesn't seem like that appealing of a career, actually.
It's wild shit. It's wild
To be a
shit.
sacrifice, because in your sacrifice, you don't get to be yourself. You get sacrificed for the public to go play the role they want you to play, so they can idolatrize. Is that word?
Idolize. Idolize.
I feel like that's a different version of the word I was going for, but whatever. Yes,
I'll do
idolize, but
idolatry.
yeah, but
Yeah.
that more like an idolatry kind of way of being the one that people like almost worship, in a way of like, that's the aspiration, that's the goal, and it's like, no, it's not. They're not happy. They don't get to be their true, full, authentic selves. They don't even know who that is because they spend their whole day pretending to be someone else. Like, I could be wrong. I never been there. Maybe they went to a lot of ashrams and they do a lot of yoga and they know exactly who they are.
But
Who am I to
my
judge?
favorite, one of my favorite, and one of the very few documentary clips of Michael Jackson that I could still look at. It was before what would have been the last tour, and they were doing the hey everybody, come on out to he was getting ready to do the drop, and the makeup people are there. He had the same makeup person for like 25 years. Makeup people are there, and he's just talking. The cameras are on. He's like, I hate this. I hate tour. I can't stand it. And they're like, yeah, no, I know, Michael. He said, no, you don't know. It's so exhausting. I'm so tired. They said, Michael, but you can't say that to sell tickets though. And you know that. He goes, I know. It's terrible. I love tour. My name is Mike. And as soon as he started doing that, everyone around him just burst out laughing.
It's like, I'm in character now. Let's go. I know what
Right.
the job is.
And then he started laughing too. Like, what? You guys, you said you wanted to do this. And he's like, shut up, you guys. Come on, it's time. Like, all right, weirdo. But like, that's the gig. That's the gig, right? Like I was talking with my dad about the very idea the other day. Like, as I am trying to figure out at my big ass age, okay, how do I navigate what the fuck ever we are all living through right now, given that I have given my life over to the arts and people's education, and that's not where money is, as I was told, which felt different at 20 than it does in my 50s. And I don't got other skill sets than those. So
It's never too late to learn.
with that,
Here,
like and subscribe.
I got three things. Please do.
Solidarity.org.
No, I got three things. I'm gonna pull it all back together. Watch. Okay. First one is, I, on my very micro level, understand the feeling, because you know what, I hate marketing. I hate marketing so much, and I've had to learn how to learn marketing stuff, and I hate it. It's not what I'm good at. It's not what I want to be doing, but it's required for us to find new people to come be in our community and help us pay our bills, or to hire us to come do conflict resolution, conflict transformation, organizational equity work. If you're really about it, you can hire us for all of those things, because it's just what we got to do to navigate this world that we're in.
About it? Did you say about it?
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of the 90s and
That's
showing
an
our age?
impersonation of a white girl using black slang in the 90s, which I did not do at the time, and I'm doing facetiously now, just to be clear. I do hate those things.
Well,
and it's
bling,
what
bling.
Sometimes we just got to do what we got to do to keep them moving. There's not a perfect world out there for us to be perfect people in. We got to figure out how to navigate what we got to navigate. And I was going to say one more thing, which is like, I worked really hard to figure out how to repair harm with people I've caused harm to, with people who've caused harm to me when they're willing and on some level able, which is why my ex-husband lives in my basement now. Um,
You
and
live in a sitcom.
it would be a good Ricky and Lucy meets Modern Family kind of spinoff, plus One Day at a Time. Like
Yeah.
you merge all three
No,
of
you
those
live in a
into one.
sitcom.
Yeah. Anyway, I was gonna say, like this thing I was talking about not singing, that I, as much difficulty as there was in our relationship, there's also beautiful gifts I got from my ex-husband, that relationship. And one of them was singing in a way. Like I remember being a little kid and like sing like the wheels on the bus or whatever, like elementary, like baby toddler preschool songs, but not much after that, because by the time you reach that certain age, about third, fourth grade, like the self-criticism and criticism from other people starts getting a lot harder, and we start kind of cutting down what we allow children to just like freely express and enjoy. And I remember when I was pregnant with my oldest daughter, our first child, we have 3 kids together, and our first baby, when I was pregnant with her, he would sing all these like Cuban lullabies to her when she was in my belly. And then when she was born, he keeps singing those same songs. And he'd be like, "Well, aren't you going to sing to her?" And I was like, I don't really sing." He's like, "What do you mean? How are you going to not sing to your baby? You have to sing to babies. Babies need to be sung to." I was like, okay." I really know what to sing, but I did. I would just start humming little songs, and I'd sing the Cuban lullabies that, or the Cuban baby songs that he taught me. And that was where I first started trying to sing again, to reclaim that part of my own expression. And so for all the challenges, that and many other things were really beautiful gifts that came through that relationship, even though there was a lot of harm and difficulty in there as well. And fast forward to today, and me walking around singing songs to my plants outside, forgetting that it was hard for me to sing songs to my baby when she was born, because I just sing songs to all these beautiful plants every day. Um, the people who had the cats in this house before I moved in, who just grossed me out because I got to still deal with all the cat fur everywhere, are also the people who planted all these beautiful plants outside that I love so much. So yes, it was annoying to deal with the cat stuff and the cat hair and the carpets. It's really gross because I don't have money to replace it yet. But I get so much joy from all these beautiful plants and trees that they planted outside and put so much care and love into. And so I can hold both. I can hold the cat hair is disgusting, and I can hold the plants are gorgeous. And I don't really care if whoever is listening. I hope you love your cats. And if they're all over your house and shedding everywhere and you can't keep up with it, I'm not judging you. Find love wherever you can. Express yourself, sing songs to your cats, sing songs to your plants, whatever helps you reclaim creation and connection and love, enjoying your life, go for it.
Except for denying the
Even if other
truths
people are
about Michael
frustrated.
Jackson's very complicated life. Don't be that person.
It's the
Don't do
world
that.
is going to shit. If you need to listen to Michael Jackson to get through your day
Listen to it.
and you're a
Listen to it.
survivor and you don't have time to hold the nuance and complexity, do that too. I'm not judging you.
Don't deny that it's there. That's all I'm saying. You want to sweep it under the rug, sweep it under the rug. You know there's something under the rug. That's all I'm saying. Just acknowledge that there's something under the rug. You'll feel better. You'll know you can clean it up later. Like, we're all going to have to get through this. But great gosh golly. And
Michael
you
Jackson being an abuser
get
is
a
the
get
cat
a
hair
get
and the
a, a
carpet
steam cleaner. You get a steam cleaner. Just
of his
get a steam
incredible
vacuum. Rent
musical
one from him.
library.
Go to the tool library.
Oh, I have. I have. And a whole bunch of cat fur came out, and there's still more in there. You gotta let it dry before you can go over it again. And also, I have other
That's
things to do, like marketing for conflict resolution for anti-fascists, which is our next public workshop that's coming up. We did it in February. People wanted us to do it again, so we're doing it again on May 7th, which, if you're listening to this, is probably May 7th or later, so you won't be able to join us for that one live. You can join us on June 3rd, and you can join us on demand because the recordings are there. And so are we, moderating the Learning Lab. So we'd love to have you come join us in conflict resolution for anti-fascists. Tomorrow we're having a conversation again. You will be too late by the time you hear this, but you can catch a recording if you come join us at strategyandSolidarity.org for our conversation with May's Strategy and Solidarity Member of the Month, Chandler Woods, where we're going to be talking about how to create stability, or creating organizational stability in times of crisis and uncertainty.
I bet
Witches.
having someone do a false dance hall horn is probably not part of creating that stability.
Absolutely. Yes. Anything that gets us through the day, I think, is helping to create stability right now. If we're not staring off into the abyss of doom, we're doing pretty good. What else is coming up? We got a community conflict resolution cohort coming up that's about to be posted any day now, and lots of good stuff. Come join the conversation. Come help us build community and find joy and connection and possibility in the world.
If you are checking this out on your favorite podcast store or on YouTube, guess what? You can be here early for the unedited versions without having to deal with the opening bump, the closing bump. But 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 you got to join us and be part of the community for that. That's a treat
That's all you got to do. Just
available.
sign up. Strategiandsolidarity.org. Come join us. Get
Dot
early
org.
access
There's so
to.
much. There are like 38 episodes of different topics. We're not all just shitting on our memories of childhood
I feel like we
and
just
cats and
changed
Michael Jackson.
channels from like the intense documentary mode into like the PBS pledge drive.
Oh, listen. This is the fundraiser. This is the friend raiser. Get here. We'd love to
Oh, and we
have you
do
be
need that
part of
too.
this.
So, like, if you do appreciate what we have to offer and have it within your resources to put, $10 a month on it, we would love that at
I'll take that.
strategyandsolidarity.org. You can do that. And if you tell us what kind of swag you would like, we might go out and get it. I
Might
don't
do
think
one of those
anyone wants
on
more
demand
tote
pieces.
bags. What
No.
about a hoodie or a coffee mug? An
A
iron on
pin.
patch or a pin?
A keychain. Who
Which
knows?
one would you
Let us know.
prefer? Let us know.
Hey, thank you to the folks who are there and have been part of the project and have made it a possibility that we would be able to bring this podcast to you. So shout out to everybody who is in the community over at strategyandsolidarity.org. Shout out to Amani Will for the interstitial bumper musics, Love of the Earth. And shout out to Dolly Parton for no reason in particular. Shout out to Dolly Parton. Theresa, where can the people find you on socials?
You can find me at TMC Logan, Facebook, Instagram, Threads, LinkedIn. It's probably something like that. And Strategy and Solidarity. Got accounts in all those places too.
All right. You can just look my name up, Carlos Kareem Wyndham. Available Facebook and Instagram and a lot on YouTube these days. So, and of course, strategyandsolidarity.org. Thank you for being here with us. Enjoy the rest of whatever. I don't know.
We love you so much. That's why we don't want this to end, but we will know. Take care of yourselves out there.